Okay, so far in this series I've been building microservices in Spring Boot and installing them into Kubernetes with YAML. So I've been using this if not present image pull policy, but because I've been installing my Docker images locally, there's been nothing to pull because the images have locally existed for me. And if I wanted to share my YAML with you, for example, if I sent you the YAML, you wouldn't have the images. So this if not present would say that because you don't have the images, attempt to pull them from Dockerhub. So Dockerhub is a container registry where we can upload our Docker images and other people can pull them. So let's have a look at how we do that. So I'm going to go to my console and say Docker images. I have my two microservice images, mshw and mshw.caps. Now if we have loads of none like this, we can do Docker image prune, and yes, we'll prune those images. It's now Docker images. These two are the microservices for my application. Okay, so go to Dockerhub, which is hub.docker.com, and sign up for an account if you don't have one already. And once you're signed up, you can create a repository. So I'm going to create a repository and I'm going to call it mshw, which is microservice hello world. I'll give it a short description. Hello world microservice application. And we can create one private repository, but I'll just create it as a public repository. And now that's created, Dave Kirkwood /mshw. Now if I do Docker images, I can see that I have my two parts of my mshw microservice application. The first microservice was just called mshw and the second one is mshw caps. So those are the things that I want to upload to Dockerhub. Now I'm going to tag the images, so I need to say docker tag mshw, and the tag is currently latest, and I'm going to change it to Dave Kirkwood, which is my name on Dockerhub, /mshw, which is my repository name on Dockerhub, and then colon mshw _1.0. And I'm going to tag my other image, mshw.caps, latest to Dave Kirkwood, mshw caps 1. So now if I do Docker images, I can see that I have copies of the images, mshw, and now I have Dave Kirkwood mshw. And I have the tags here. Now the tag is supposed to be used for version name, but I'm doing it this way with mshw caps 1 and mshw 1 so that I could put two images in the same repository. Now I'm going to do docker login, username Dave Kirkwood, and enter my password there. So try again. And then I'm going to do docker push Dave Kirkwood mshw 1, and that's going to push my mshw image to the repository. That's going to take a few seconds there, and I'm also going to push my mshw caps, my second microservice image. So now if I go back to Dockerhub and reload, we can see we have our mshw and mshw caps in our mshw repository in Dockerhub. So now I'm going to delete my microservice application from Kubernetes altogether. So I'll do kubectl delete namespace mshw namespace, and it also has a persistent volume deployed, so I'm going to delete that as well. kubectl delete pv mshw pv, that's deleted. Now if I do kubectl get all, we still have MySQL installed, but I've deleted my application completely. Now I'm going to say Docker images, and I'm going to delete my Docker images. So I'm going to Docker RMI for remove image, and I'm going to delete the MSHW and MSHW caps. And now I just have my two that I've uploaded to Dockerhub. I'm going to delete those also. MSHW, MSHW1 and MSHW caps 1. So now if I do Docker images, I don't have any of my MSHW images locally anymore. Now I'm going to go back to my YAML, and for my image name now I'm going to change MSHW to Dave Kirkwood / MSHW : MSHW1. And for my other microservice, it's very similar. Image is Dave Kirkwood MSHW caps. So now I've modified my YAML to point to Dockerhub. I'm still doing image pull policy if not present, so if I did have them locally they wouldn't come from Dockerhub, but because I've deleted them locally they need to come from Dockerhub. So make sure I saved everything, and now I'll reapply the YAML. kubectl apply f MSHW YAML. I should have redeployed everything, so if I do mshw.com, that's working. The secret is working. If I do read, that's still working. If I do write something new and then read back, that's still working. And the counter, which is using the NFS server, that's still counting up, so everything's still working. Now if you had a copy of my YAML file, you'd be able to deploy things just like I have, but you'd be downloading the images from my Dockerhub. There's still one problem though, and that is that we've installed MySQL, so in order for this to work you need to be using my MySQL, and of course that's configured with a password, so the read and write won't work if we share the project like that. So in order to do this we need to use Helm. So a better way of sharing projects is with Helm charts. So in the next video we're going to look at Helm, but for now thanks for watching.